how badly does bleach damage your curls? You're not gonna like this answer, bestie. This was not on my 2023 bingo card. Listen, before we go any further, I'm not saying that I'm going back to blonde. I'm just bringing some blonde back. So hello, in case you're new here, I am Mel, your main girl. For 4 years on this channel, I was mega blonde. And for the last year and a bit, I went back to my brown, which is my natural root color. That doesn't mean I haven't colored. I did a few months ago add a little bit of dimension back into my hair, which you can see is this like very warm brown. And basically with today's little color session, I want to add more dimension to my hair. So I'm gonna add a few lighter pops because let's be real, the sun has already been doing its thing. The color has lightened up quite a bit. There is a lot of warm, almost brassy tones in there. And so I can either lighten further to break up the brass or tone it all down dark. But I figured since I'm already this light, I might as well play around with a little bit of lightener, make the hair a little bit lighter because I can always darken it later. So that's what we're gonna do. If you are new, my disclaimer here is that I am a professional licensed hairstylist, so I know what I'm doing. I don't condone or recommend that you do especially a process like this at home yourself, but I can't control you if you want to go buck wild. I'm just saying, and I'll be showing you what I'm doing while also answering some of your questions. I put up a question box on Instagram. We had some great questions come in regarding hair color. So while I do this, we'll get multitasking. There's a lot. Oh my. I better get started. Without further ado, let's get to it. So the last time I colored my hair was 3 months ago, where I added in some of this lighter brown, and I had used a high lift color to do that. High lift color is one of my favorite products to use on, okay, you can only use it on natural virgin hair. That's the only way you'll get lift, but it's my favorite way to get a controlled lift that isn't too light, maintains some warmth, and also gives you a more gradual grow out because it's not going to be too drastic from your root color. But as you can see, I would say I've had a pretty graceful grow out. And I have very easily maintained this low maintenance color at home with color masks when I wanted to bring back some depth, some shine, and either cool it down or further enhance the warmth. But I haven't used any of those masks in a few weeks. I've fully clarified my hair so that now I can go back in and do a little bit of lightening to make a few extra curls pop. I want to quickly mention that as for my haircut, I have not done it in 6 weeks, and I am definitely due. I can see some of my ends where they're looking a little straggly. So I would be due for something like a dusting, and I was gonna do it now, but I kind of want to get right into the color, and I'll just do the haircut after, especially since I'm not doing a drastic haircut. I just want to reshape and take off some split ends. However, if you're ever doing a really big change to your haircut, you should cut the hair first because you gotta build the house before you paint it. You know what I'm saying? I will be taking all preventative measures here to make sure my hair stays healthy. So I will be going in with the K18. This is the Professional Molecular Repair Hair Mist. It's for pros only, but it's definitely something that I will be using all throughout my hair to get it ready for this process. Whenever I'm doing lightening, K18 is definitely a product that I like to have throughout the routine. It's just to ensure I do the least amount of damaging. What this mist does is it's a pre-service treatment. It's gonna help prepare the hair to accept color and also help to strengthen it before the color process begins. However, I don't just rely on this. I also have been making sure that my hair has been treated. Over the past few washes, I have prepped my hair so it's in a healthy state. I mean, the curls are popping. And going forward here, the lightener I'm going to be using is also a very gentle formula. I'm going to be doing pintura style highlights. That is hand painting. It's like the curly form of balayage. I'll be picking out the curls as I see them, and I will be open air processing without foils because that's how you use a clay lightener. This one is from Schwarzkopf. It's the Blonde Me Clay Lightener. Clay lightener is already more gentle than regular powdered lightener. Plus, this one specifically contains blonde enforcing technology. So I'm extra covered and not concerned. Before I mix it up, I'm just going to section my hair, and I'm going to do this in 4 quadrants. So I've got my lightener all mixed up. The thing with clay is she does not play. She is thick. That's how you want to keep it. And just as a trick, mixing your clay with a comb Helps everything mix together without putting too much air into the product or making too much of a mess. Having extra clips as well as gloves on hand is essential. I need a towel nearby that I can dirty and not want to cry. So since I'm not really trying to go full on blonde, I'm just going to take 1.5 inch to 2 inch size sections and pull a couple curls out that it's almost like I'm doing a bit of a weave. Already making a mess, getting the air out of the product, and I'm going to start surface painting. We're doing it. Well, we're doing it. No going back now. We are going back to blonde. I don't know. Find out. A little bit does go a long way with this technique. The last time I did this, like my blonde became almost solid, which is what I want to avoid. But right now I feel like I have a solid brown, and so I really just want to add a little bit of some pops, you know? I want to make sure I hit a couple bad boys at my hairline for when I put my hair up. Next section and our first question. How would you recommend coloring very dark hair that has gray hairs but low maintenance? Anyone who knows me knows how not shy I am about the fact that I absolutely love and adore demi-permanent color. And if you have dark hair, putting a demi-permanent color on is not going to give you coverage. It's not. It's not going to cover your grays, but it'll give you some blending and it'll keep the health of your hair without having to go blonde. Not everyone that goes gray wants to go blonde, especially if they've always had dark hair. And so if you don't want that really opaque color and that really high maintenance lifestyle to go with covering your roots, you can blend out your roots by using a demi-permanent color that will put like a tint over the grays. So they won't be completely covered, but grays will almost become like highlights as opposed to looking gray. And the best part is this is the healthiest way that you can color your hair with demi-permanent color. So that by far would be my best suggestion to you and anyone out there. Next, can you please tell me tips on how to prevent red hair from bleeding throughout your washes? Bleeding is not violent. That's just when your color is washing out, especially when you have red colored hair. Every time you step in the shower, at least for the first few washes, it looks like a massacre. But there is ways that you can prevent that fading, especially if you, because I saw another question that said if you have red hair with blonde highlights. And love, let me tell you, you want to make sure you're using products that contain silicones. Specifically amodimethicone, that is one of the best silicones for preventing color fading because it's going to cling to those negatively charged damaged sites in your hair to kind of fill in the holes, fill in the cracks, which will help prevent your color from leaking out. And I would even say doing an oil treatment like using coconut oil, which I know not a lot of stylists will agree with me, but it's scientifically proven that using coconut oil before your wash will help prevent high growth fatigue, help prevent your hair from swelling. And if your hair is not swelling, it's going to be a lot less likely to spit out the color that is in it. But it's inevitably still going to bleed. I mean, it just is. Every time you wash your hair, it's not even the shampoo that's the problem, it's water. Every time you wash your hair, you're gonna have some kind of swelling, some kind of bleeding, some kind of leaking. But that's why we just maintain our hair color at home with some color depositing shampoos, glosses, conditioners, things like that. The next question is, how badly does bleach damage your curls? You're not gonna like this answer, bestie, but it really doesn't. It doesn't have to be. Now, anytime you are lightening the color of your hair, I mean, you are damaging it in one way or another. No chemical process that involves lightening especially is a healthy process for the hair. It's not. I really hope this turns out well because I can't really see what I'm grabbing, but I think it's gonna blend well. Don't know. If you go back through all the videos on my channel, you will see that my own bleached, like very bleached blonde curly hair journey on my fine textured hair, okay, fine textured hair tends to be, is a lot more fragile. I was able to maintain the health of my curls because it's all about maintenance. It's high maintenance. The hair is going to be very needy. You'll notice it's going to be a little bit, probably a lot bit more dry than it was previously. And so that's probably one of the biggest factors that you'll notice. Bleach doesn't necessarily have to damage the curl pattern if you go with a low and slow formula, but it's still going to damage the hair strands. Specifically, the porosity of your hair is going to increase, which is what leads to that dryness and leaves your hair more susceptible to damage if you're not going to upkeep it. I love bleaching my hair because it makes it feel so much fuller. I get so much more texture and volume, Healthy hair is just sometimes too healthy. It can feel too flat, and we talked a lot more about that in a previous video when I talked about all the ways that my hair has changed. Even my curl pattern looks a lot different when it is bleach lightened versus natural, mostly because of the porosity changes and how the hair holds on to water. See that saturation? It's the saturation for me. Now again, I have done this to my hair before, but I am gonna do something kind of new because I always use myself as a guinea pig. I like to experiment with things, and you'll see what we do later on in the toning process after I wash out this lightener, because we will not be stopping there. Just to take my lightening and blending to the next level. Pun intended. Stay tuned. Now just on the last quadrant of the section, and I just mixed up some more color and I bumped up the strength. Before I was using just 30 vol, and now I mix 30 vol and 40 vol. I like to bump up the strength of my lightener as I move along the head so that the newer sections catch up to the first sections that I painted. I'm gonna swing these back very gently and move up to the side. And I'm taking these sections that are gonna cover my whole hairline here. A little bit on the side and above my ear, so it's kind of got like this swoop, like a diagonal. I want to pull the hair nice taut. To do this, we'll answer our next question. Does coloring prevent from hair growth, or does it slow down growth? Coloring does not slow down growth, but it could slow down your length retention, because if your hair has gotten damaged and then that damage leads to a lot of breakage, you're not going to see the length on your ends because it's going to fall off before it can get there. So that's the tea on that. Hair color is external. Hair growth factors, especially the most important ones, are internals. Oh, I forgot to mention when I was mixing up my last bowl that this is very well my last bowl. No, it's my second last bowl. I don't even know how much I have left. I'm actually concerned that I might run out of products before I reach the end of my head. But one bowl of 30 grams got me almost 2 full sections. So I am just staying optimistic. The only thing that could go wrong right now is running out of product. I haven't dyed my hair in 12 years, but I'm scared to do it. Have any tips? If you are remotely considering coloring your hair, do it. Do it, do it, do it, do it. But make sure you do it when you are absolutely ready. If you have any doubts in your mind regarding a hair change, especially something that's going to be drastic, don't do it. Don't do it. If you want to test out the look and see how you can live with it, how you might look with it, then I definitely recommend that you get a wig. That's a fun way to try something out while being low maintenance and then not regretting everything. I would also say to start slow, like maybe don't jump right to the drastic hair color, because it's not just the hair color and like your new look that you're gonna have to adjust to, but again, there's a whole new set of maintenance routines that you need to be doing in order to maintain a healthy hair color, and you might not be prepared for that. So always stick within 3 levels of your natural color. So my natural color is a 5'6". I cannot afford to be dropping any of this. 5'6", mostly a 5. Pretty dark, honestly. And so I can either enhance that darkness by going 3 levels darker, which will take me to like a natural black. I don't think that suits me personally, so I wouldn't do that. But I could go 3 levels lighter to a level 8, and that will still kind of look natural on me. It'll look soft on me because it's not too completely different from my natural color. Like obviously it is, but anything above a 3 level change is a lot more serious. So I would say just don't go too crazy, and then see a trusted professional. Like you've waited this long to get your hair done, please take the time to vet out your stylist. There are color specialists for a reason. They know how to formulate so that you get the job done right and you're not scarred and scared to do your hair color again for another 12 years. Reaching your hair goals is always worth the wait. Should our hair be product free? Question mark. Freshly colored before dyeing? Yes, yes, and yes. Now, my hair actually has a little bit of product on it right now, but when I say a little, I truly mean just a little bit of product. And when I washed it, I did a deep clarifying treatment to my hair. Even if you don't use a lot of product on a daily basis, there are other things that build up in your hair, like hard water when you are washing, pollution from the stank air that we breathe and live in all day long outdoors, and most terrifyingly, heavy metals that could also come through in our water that can cause a reaction to the hair color during the hair color process. This is a bad reaction, not like a wow, your hair color slays. It's like, wow, your hair color is melting. I'm melting! Melting! That is a thing that could be happening. So if you talk to a lot of color specialists, they will actually give you a whole hair prep routine. Some of them may actually have you come in before the color service day to do like a deep detox treatment on your hair. But if you go into the salon with dirty hair, it's number one, not going to color better. And it might mean your hairstylist has to clean your hair before you go in with the color, which will take away from the time and you might not get the end results that you want. Or you may have to dish out some extra coin, pay for the time, naturally. So the best color treatment that you can do to the hair, this is even a good treatment to do once or twice a year, is the Malibu C CPR. That's a crystal gel treatment. Wait, no, CPR is different from crystal gel? I'm getting confused. But the Malibu C crystal gel, that's really gonna remove all buildup from the hair, and you can see actually your hair color will look so different after doing something like that because it's removed all of the buildup that's sitting on top and kind of making it look dingy. You might be able to find that on Amazon or just get that done in salon. But I personally recommend regularly clarifying your hair if you can to keep that buildup at bay. It's getting real stinky in here, a little hard to breathe. I would open the window, but people are landscaping. So sorry. Actually, be sorry for me. Ooh, fun question. If you were to ever dye your hair a non-natural color, what color would you pick? You know what I think is sick? And because this is the least popular color. If you know me, you might know what I'm gonna say because kinda obvious, but green. I think green hair is so sick. I would actually do like a deep forest green tint on top of my natural color. It's like one of those, like the blue black hair trend. I would do something like that where like you mostly see it when it's light out, especially if the sun is shining down. That's what I would do if my hair was dark. And if my hair was light, don't know. What do you think would look good on me? Let me know. We did come out with a video a while back about how to pick the right hair color for you and your skin tone. And so I kind of put some testers up on the screen there. But I don't know, none of them really stuck out to me personally. I don't know, I'm gonna have to keep thinking on that one. Let's try to make sure that bleach doesn't get on my eyebrow now. Although I did tint my eyebrows for the first time last October, and I've done it twice just with demi-permanent hair color, and that's a slay. Back's starting to hurt me, but I can't stop now. I gotta mix up a new bowl. Look, there's literally almost nothing in here. And then get through the rest of this last section. Okay, I just wanted to share before I wash my hair, I let it process all together for about an hour. And if I pick pickpocket. Attenzione, pickpocket! If I pick through the hair, I can see it's still warm. It's definitely lighter underneath, but the lightener has pretty much dried. And when lightener dries, it dies. It no longer really works. The whole point about clay lightener and the reason why you need to be really heavy with the saturation is because notice how I put several layers of, hair, unbleached hair, right on top of those painted pieces, and they stayed dry. Is because the clay helps to create this like dry protective shell to keep the inside layers moist so they can continue processing while the outside doesn't get affected by the rest of the hair. And I'm dying to rinse this out to see what we're working with. All right, I am back with a clean cape. Excuse the lighting changes. It has been a long day. I shampooed and used K18, obviously. I did the molecular repair leave-in mask, and now my hair has been sitting for well over 4 minutes. It is damp. This is without toning. Okay, this is how the color is looking. Yes, okay. It's a little traumatizing. This is where the magic happens. My whole goal is for this color to look really nice and gradual. And so the best way I can do that without darkening too much of the bottom is actually by slightly lightening the top. I'm going to be doing what's called a base break, and this is what's new to me. I've never actually officially base braked my hair. Base broken. I personally have not broken my base before, but my base has been broken by another stylist, and honestly, it was an orange, scary disaster. That's the problem with a base break. A base break is just slightly lightening your natural to like 1 shade lighter. Actually, if you do 1 shade lighter, it's going to be a hella orange. So it's really just supposed to be like a half a shade lighter. And there are specific base break products that you can use to achieve that. I'm just gonna go in with a permanent hair color in a shade level 8 ash. And I'm only gonna let it sit on for about 10 minutes. That means I really quickly have to apply, as you can see me doing. And I'm trying to stay off of my root, just because your root, like right up against your scalp, is the hair that's gonna lighten the fastest. And I wanna keep that almost as a subtle shadow root. So I'm just blending up to my scalp. And this is also gonna help tone my ends. Because it's permanent color, it's gonna bump a little bit of that extra warmth out of my hair, but it's also an ash color with a level, so it will deposit as well. Okay, why is this kind of a look right now? Like this slick. Like I've never had hair this slick, you know? Kind of love it. Kind of want to take a selfie. And the hair color is almost done processing. I let it sit on a little longer than 10 minutes because again, this is my first time trying this and I have evaluated the root and I feel like it's not overly lifting, but the ends are nicely depositing. And the blend is looking nice and blendy. I've had it over 20 minutes. I think I'm just gonna let it process the full 30. And then I'm gonna pop in the shower and then we can do our styling and finishing the finished results. It's just about time I wash this bad boy out, so I'll be back. It's the next day. I've got my hair reveal under the bonnet. I haven't actually seen it in daylight, but I want my reveal to be, I don't know, a good one. So I put on an outfit, I put on some makeup. I need dramatic music. What do you think? I love it. It's like the hair that I had, but better because it's revamped, it's refreshed. Take a look at the blend. Let me tell you, I was a little scared to do the base break. I was scared. And okay, I know that I finished my hair now, but there are some more questions that I want to answer. Specifically, is baby light a good technique to highlight curly hair? Let me tell you, I absolutely despise baby lights, really on all hair types, because it is so hard to touch up that highlight style without overlapping on the previously lightened hair, which on curly hair is a big no-no. Straight hair, you don't have a curl pattern to worry about. You can bleach the shit out of the hair and it's still going to be straight. But with curly hair, if you damage it, you will see a difference in the curl pattern. And so I hate baby lights. But this effect, baby lights give a really soft blended shimmer effect similar to this. However, this technique is not for everyone, not for everyone's hair type. If your hair is super, super thick, dark, coarse, color treated, you're not going to be a good candidate for hand painted highlight. But for a better baby light effect, I would just take a really fine slice. A slice is going to be cleaner than like a baby lighted weave. Don't do that around here. And the only other thing you need to remember with that is when the highlights are so baby fine, they will truly disappear in curly hair. I've had it done to me before. And I was so upset when I got my roots done and my roots did not look like they were done. Because curly hair expands, you need a chunkier section in order to see the highlight that you're putting in. So if you want to see a little bit more of your highlights, don't make them baby. Probably my least favorite highlighting technique. Best toner for brown brassy hair. The undertones in brown are going to be red and orange, so you definitely want to stick with a really cool toned toner that is going to have a lot of ash, even some matte in there. Matte is typically green. I would probably leave that up to the hands of a professional, but ashy toners with blue undertones will help to cancel out that really orange brass. However, you, me, needs to keep in mind now that I have these lighter kind of pops of blonde. If I were to throw on super ash toner on top of this hair, those lighter pieces are really gonna absorb that and almost look blue gray, while the rest of the hair might be somewhat toned. They might even still be brassy. So toning brassy hair when there are highlights of blonde gets a little bit trickier, and you want to tone the brass, you need to be prepared to just tone everything down a little bit darker. Which, who knows, maybe that's something I will do next time after the summer is over. However, I am really loving this soft brown on me. Let me know what you think. Are you impressed that the curls are still intact? This is what happens when your hair is in the hands of a professional, a curl professional. However, if you have gotten your hair colored and your curl pattern is struggling, because I saw a couple questions there, my best tips are to use bond building products to really nurture your hair back to life. I will put the best products that I recommend in the description box below, as well as videos that you can watch that I have previously done on damaged hair to show you how to bring it back to health. So I will link those in the description box below. I will also put the link to my website and my blog where there is more helpful tips as well as breakdowns of these products. So make sure to check that out. Thank you for coming along with me on this very long journey. This DIY process is never easy. It's not for the faint of heart or if you lack patience in life. But when it comes to my hair, I've got time. And I thank you for spending yours with mine. I love you so much. Until next time, peace. All right, we're rolling. Is the sound on though? That's a good question. Oh, yeah, it says it's on. I think it's on. Hello, hello, hello. I think you can hear me. Let's hope so, because if that happens to one more video, I'm gonna lose it. I'm gonna lose it. Right now, we're gonna move it. We're gonna reduce it, as in the pigmentation that's in my hairs right now. I just dropped some more and I literally am done this freaking bowl. I don't even know. I don't know what I'm gonna do right now. Oh God. Oh God. I'm alive for now. Hello, you caught me at a very interesting time because I'm in the middle of doing my hair. Doctor! Hi, doctor. Oh my God, pleasure to meet you. Congratulations. Hold on, I'm filming a video. Do you want to wave? Wave to the... Wave. Say hi. Wave. That's so funny. Well, you're gonna be in the next video. You know what? I was planning on doing, oh my God, my eyeballs. Just got the ammonia in them. Hey, just finished filming. Just finished filming.
Sweet.
You wanna see my hair?
Yep.
On FaceTime?
Wow.
Like, tell me what you think. Tell me what you think. I'm not gonna say anything.
Amazing. Oh wow, that's the most beautiful color I've ever seen.
Amanda, do not gas me up right now. If you were to describe this color in one word, what vibe are you getting?
It.
Oh, that's it. Say hi.
Hey, I want the same color.
Peace.
Peace.
That was off.